How did Israel, with few natural resources, become a regional economic superpower in just 70 years? Three challenges proved to be major drivers for Israel's economic growth: national security, mass immigration, and the development of infrastructure and institutions. In the country's early years, Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion and Finance Minister Levi Eshkol instituted a policy of tzena, meaning austerity. Essentials from oil, sugar, and coffee to furniture and footwear were rationed. Israelis became accustomed to facing long lines at stores and having certain products not be available. But tzena was phased out by 1959 thanks in part to two external responses to Israel's problems: Israel bonds and German reparations. Israel bonds, formerly the Development Corporation for Israel, launched to raise U.S. money for Israeli infrastructure. Ben-Gurion kicked off the first bond campaign May 10, 1951 at New York's Madison Square Garden. German reparations were meant to help Israel absorb Holocaust survivors and other immigrants, as its population doubled to 1.4 million by 1952. Menachem Begin and others vehemently opposed taking what they saw as blood money, but the Knesset voted 61-50 on January 9, 1952, to enter into talks with West Germany, which 8 months later agreed to pay Israel $845 million over 14 years. Israel used those funds and ongoing contributions from Jews worldwide to invest in agriculture, water projects, and other infrastructure, with the result that only Japan's economy grew faster from 1950 to 1968. The World Bank in 1968 called Israel an economic miracle. But Israel, built on a dream of Jewish self-sufficiency, remained dependent on foreign funds, weapons, and other goods. By 1964, Deputy Defense Minister Shimon Peres was promoting a solution: integrating the latest technology into the military and applying those innovations across the economy. Peres promoted this synergy over the next 20 years as he rose to prime minister. His ideas proved crucial after Israel's smashing victory in the June 1967 war. While the economic benefits included tourism, immigrants, Sinai oil, and access to cheap Arab labor, the triumph also led France to cut off weapons sales. Israel began producing its own sophisticated weapon systems, including tanks, aircraft, and eventually anti-missile systems. Defense spending rose rapidly as Israel invested in research and development, but the economy stagnated through the 1970s and 80s as inflation soared into the double digits. When a Peres-led government responded by controlling spending, privatizing functions, and deregulating industry, Israelis trained in high-tech military innovation were ready for a new era of entrepreneurship that coincided with the arrival of 1 million immigrants from the former Soviet Union in the 1990s. Israel charged into the global economy, led by the high-tech services that accounted for a third of its exports by 2000 and earned it the nickname Startup Nation. The high-tech industry, including R&D centers for the likes of Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, and Intel, was 11.4% of Israel's GDP by 2014. Israel's economic strength was recognized in 2010 when it became one of 36 members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, joining the United States and most of Europe. The OECD's acting chief economist, Alvaro Pereira, noted in March 2018 that the Israeli economy had grown faster and more consistently than almost all others in the OECD for 15 years. Today's excellent outlook offers Israel a unique opportunity to prepare for the challenges of the future, Pereira said, by taking steps to raise productivity, improve social cohesion, and guarantee high quality of life for all Israelis. Despite the challenge of increasing economic participation by the ultra-Orthodox and Arab citizens, Israel's future looks bright because of its ability to turn the vulnerabilities of heavy immigration and high defense spending into assets. See the following links for more information.